There you go, Greg. The little kid's ready to come home from summer camp. I got the bell housing bolted on there. You could ship a tranny with no nose cone and a motor complete on one of these 4x4 pallets. So that's the start of the pallet. You got to make the sides for it and stuff like that. We'll start this up tomorrow. I adjusted the valves, went through the valve lash, and we got the timing light set up on there. We put a set of plugs in there. The plugs were done. So rather than let me move some stuff here. Here's the plugs. They were pretty rich. So rather than taking a chance of cleaning them and having something not work out, I just went with another set. And we'll put these in a stocker or something that we're not too worried about. So anyway, that's where we're at. Got it all sitting pretty up on there, and it's going to fit on there real nice. We'll be able to screw some wood around it there, and it won't move a bit, and should work out real good. Hans will finish that up. I got to take him to Lowe's and buy some plywood, or see whatever he asked for. He asked for some sort of plywood, cheap stuff. But anywho, there we go. So it's fire up time tomorrow. I got the bell housing bolted on there. I got a starter, got the starter button, got a couple battery cables. I got to do some connections for the fuel pump. I got to pick up some gas, and yeah, we'll fire it up. We'll probably start it right on this pallet, and we'll let it run for a little bit, and if all goes well, we'll build the box around it and ship it out to Mr. Porter, and you can put it in the Gia and have some happy motoring. What are you cats doing? Crazy ass cats are taking over. So we got all the cars in. It's supposed to rain. Got the blue bomber in here. Might work on this a little bit in the morning and do some carpet. We gotta tighten the pedals. There's another socket. There's a ratchet. Outstanding. I love it when stuff comes together. But anyway, we got some carpet to put in this one, and I need a car to drive. I don't have a car anymore. So I've been watching Juan's videos. Juan Lopez, new guy in the garage, got some Volkswagen. Got a nice convertible and a Super Beetle daily driver. He was doing a door handle video and some stuff. So I just started getting his videos. Here's the dirty girl. Got the Dan Electrode sticker, rocking that now and there. And we'll be going to the races this weekend. Gaden's gonna go with me. It's gonna be me, Gaden, and Noel, and probably Noel's son, Cameron. Maybe some more of the R&S guys, I don't know. But we're gonna go out there and work on his car and see if we can get it to go sixes again. It's the last race at Speed World with the current owner, so that'll be cool. We'll go out there and spend some of Noel's money. So didn't get much done on the Nova today. Really didn't get anything done. Just moved some stuff around in here. It's getting tight. Got to inventory some parts and send some stuff off, and get in here with a vacuum, and I'm gonna do some bed liner in here. I think that's the best bet to snazz this up a little bit and bring it back. I think what I'll do is I'll leave the roll bar pads, the plates, there we go, welded to the floor. I'm gonna grind the pipe off, of course, but I'm gonna leave those welded in the floor in case I want to put a little cage in it or something. I'll put a little loop, one bar back like it used to have. Piss the tech guys off. So yeah, that's where we're at. Still need to get those CAD plated. Got to find somewhere. I think there's somewhere in Daytona that does that, and I got to figure out what kind of brake drums these are, and do something with my brakes. Might even upgrade to some disc brakes. I don't know. I've heard that you can put the Lincoln stuff on these 9 inches and if that's the case, I might be able to go to the junkyard and do some sort of a swap, you know, and get rid of the drum brakes, because I'm not even sure what kind of car those brakes are for, and it's going to be impossible to match the wheel cylinders up and all that stuff. So I'm thinking like a Ford Torino, something like that would be a good place to start. Somebody was asking me how wide this was. I welded these pads on. These are the Moroso pads. And I just re-welded those onto the housing, to the stock spring width. Well, actually, after I moved the springs in, they had to be relocated, you know. When you put that spring relocation kit on the back, I had to move the pads. And I took the 12 bolt out and put this 9-inch in. And this is 52 inches from backing plate to backing plate. And you can get a nice 8-inch wheel under there. It's a 8-inch wheel with, I think, 5.5-inch inside, and what is it, 2.5 out. So you can get a pretty decent tire under there, 9-inch slick, no problem. And yeah, so we'll run I think I've had a 275 street tire on there back when they had EC1 McCurry's. So probably just put some sort of radial tire on there now, you know, so it's a driver and it spins the tires real good. So put a fat radial tire on there. Probably won't be doing much racing, but plan on going to Steak and Shake in it or something. I gotta drive something. The bus is a little closer. I made a pedal for it, and I did this the other day and didn't show you guys. I drilled the hole. Let me see. This is a common problem on these buses, so I'll show this real quick, and then I'm going to turn the camera off because some of you guys really don't care about Volkswagen stuff. But the pedals rot off at the bottom there, where the hinge is mounted. So I just went and got a hinge and spot welded the hinge to the pedal. And now I'll screw it back down to the floor. You know, re-welded the floor down there, and we'll have a gas pedal. So that's then the hold up on this one. Gas pedal and brakes. Got to put brake fluid in it. I've been hesitating. Tomorrow's going to be the big brake fluid day. We're going to definitely put brake fluid in the bus, and I'm going to put brake fluid in this blue car. So you know, all this stuff's brand new wheel cylinders, new hoses, all that stuff. So hopefully it's all still good. You know, I do have that lowered beam out of that car out back. I'm thinking about cutting that car up and scrapping it and just using the good pieces out of it. And I do have a good front beam in that car that's lowered, got the adjusters in it. And we might put that in this car and give it a little better stance, you know, set it down. I didn't lower this one because if Andrea drives it, you know, she'll be hitting every pothole in town. So I figured a 4-wheel drive version would be better for her. So this car's always been fun just like this. This thing actually ran 1420s with the last motor that was in it. And that's not super fast, but it's pretty quick, stoplight to stoplight. You know, 1420s, and it's pretty respectable for a Beetle. So we got a stock motor in it this time, gas mileage, some Cadrons. So I'm not expecting it to be a rocket for sure. It'll be a different ride. So anyway, we'll go ahead and shut this off. And I got some bearings for the Nova motor for the big block. We got 2 sets of bearings here. We got a set of standards and we got a set of +2s, I think. Let's see what they are. Pretty sure they're +2s. X1. The rods are +1 and the mains are +2s. So I got a mic crank, get all this set up, and see if they'll work out. These are race bearings here. You can see the odd discoloration, or the, you know, the brown look to the bearing. This is a H bearing. It's made for racing, a little harder. And this is the stock car bearing. Yeah, you can tell the completely different looking construction. One looks like Babbitt and the other steel. So this is solid steel construction, and that's layered steel. So I'm hoping the you know, the H bearings will fit. The motor's had a a life on it since it was standard. When I built it last time, it was standard, so I don't expect it to still be that way, so I'm thinking these might be the way to go. So we got a good choice of bearings there. Got a set of standard and a set of +1s and O2s. So should be able to come up with something on that as soon as we get this thing boxed up. And Gaden's coming over tomorrow. He ran over a spray can on I-4 and I got his paint all over the side of his truck. So he's going to come over tomorrow. We'll try to get that paint off for him. And I might have to do some buffing, some wiping, I don't know. But we can get him to do something for us. We'll bring that engine stand with him, and we'll get him to help us put the big block up in the stand while I'm doing this truck. He can run the Home Depot and get the bolts and stuff for me and get that all set up. So that'll be a good trade. And that'll get us started. We'll get the block in the stand and get it washed real good. It's been cleaned once. It needs to be cleaned again. It's been sitting around. We'll clean it, we'll hone it, we'll, you know, that's all we're going to do. It's getting bolted together. It's nothing special. So it's a standard 454. We got a decent set of 049 oval port heads with some decent springs, some bigger valves, stainless steel valves, some roller rockers. We still got to buy a camshaft. We got a steel crank. We got a good set of rods with some good ARP bolts. And we got a coils roller set for the timing chain. And that's about it. Got an old Wien old school intake, and we'll have to come up with a carburetor. You know, usually I use a Dominator for a big block, but it's going to be a street car, so we'll have to build something. Probably got an 850 around here or something we'll dig up and put together for it. So I expect it to run pretty decent though, and it'll look cool. So that's mainly the thing. I think they look cool with the big blocks. I always like the way they look when you open the hood. So that's where we're at. I still didn't get anything primered today. Hopefully tomorrow, get a few more parts. I always hold off and wait to prime stuff, hoping to, you know, get more stuff all at once, and I think that's a big mistake. I think I need to get in the habit of just priming what I have ready and moving on when I have the next thing ready. So I'll get more done that way. So I sort of talking to Hans. I think we're going to pull the subframe out of this thing and pull the frame connectors and all that stuff so we can start fresh under there. And I mean, we're almost all the way there now. So now that I got Hans helping me with that, it's a little easier. So I do have this carburetor here we can throw on the big block. That's a 780 vacuum secondary. That would probably work pretty well. We're probably going to go with a double pumper though. So all right guys, let me go ahead and shut this off. Full house. Got 6 cars in here tonight. It's a little tight, but expecting some bad weather. Thanks for watching the videos. Thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe, and push the record button. Make it happen. Saw Milrick today. That was cool. He didn't die from the turkey, so right on, brother. And he's doing pretty good eBaying those parts and you know, getting his part storage going there, his inventory in case something happens to his Dodge. I watched Jay Leno thing, and the guy bought a car, or a guy donated a car or sold it to Jay Leno, and he had bought all spare parts for the car. Spare fenders, spare bumpers, spare turn signals. He had a spare part for everywhere on the car, so pretty cool. You know, never hurts to have some extra parts laying around.